And now, everyone, a moment of silence, quiet, so we can have video identification. Ready? Now, why is this? Now, I'm going to show you the main issue. This is the Ashcan edition, and I have issue number 1. We'll take a look. Let me tell you something. I'll flip to this really quick. I got both the Ashcan and issue number 1. They debuted today. Now, you've been looking on the YouTubes at different people's reviews. I skipped all those videos because I didn't want to be spoiled. There's not too much. There's a major spoiler in issue number 1. And for those of you who want to, if you want to stop the video now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, but I will save my facial expression reaction for the very end because you're going to like it. So here's the Ashcan edition of Silverhawks, Dynamite Comics number 1, Brisson and Cambandice. So these are the people that put this together. Now, what makes this a collector's item is that we get we get half a comic book, and no word bubbles, no thought bubbles, no captions. It's a very silent show in this way. Let me see if we are focused, and I will make sure we are locked and focused. So you can kind of see just a little bit what looks like Coruscant, but it's actually, this is the home world of, I mean, they've done these future planets like Cybertron, Coruscant, cyberpunk kind of things that we kind of just, we don't recognize it being distinct. Now, a little bit of history before we get into, so there's Ed Brisson. This is the guy, Ed Brisson. This is the traditional cover to number 1. There's Monstar. So there's a little bit of an interview in here, and there's many covers, and we will get to those covers. In fact, I'm going to save that for the very end because it's also in here. So here we have, and isn't this nice that they put X and not Twitter? They could have put Twitter, right? They put X/Twitter. You don't want to offend everybody, right? You don't want to offend everyone. So I'm going to put this back into my sleeve. And we'll talk a little bit about the history of Silverhawks before I show you which of the covers I had purchased. And it wasn't any of the super rare covers, unfortunately. This is an event. Why is it an event? Now, let's go over the different 80s IPs, okay? Power Lords, right? Centaur. Ghostbusters by Filmation. The real Ghostbusters, right? Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, GoBots, Transformers, Mask, G.I. Joe, Barbie. Well, Barbie's actually, there's 80s Barbie, but there's Rainbow Bride, Strawberry Shortcake, which is actually from the 70s. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being the last, right? Silverhawks is sort of in between. It was like before, and Robotech as well. Robotech and Ghostbusters and Mighty Orbots. And between Mighty Orbots and Silverhawks, you got that sort of similar theme. Maybe there'll be a Mighty Orbots. I hope Ed Brisson, if he ever sees this, there's the Mighty Orbots that Warner Brothers also owns. You could do a crossover with that, The Mighty Orbots team up with Silverhawks. It's a very fun cartoon. I might buy that season on VOD. So Silverhawks ran for, I guess, a couple of seasons, 60 something episodes. Blue Star. I think of the Blue Star. Now, Blue Star is a sun that is the least warm. A blue sun would be much colder. So a planet would have to be closer to a blue sun to be similar to Earth's atmosphere. If we had a red star, right? Wait a minute, hold on. I'm getting this wrong. See, now this is going to be related to Silverhawks. A red star is colder than a blue star. A blue star is hotter. So the Earth would have to be farther away and a red star, an Earth would have to be closer to it to be for us to survive. This is the quiz, the pop quiz at the end of every episode. This is the only one Kit would get wrong, and Bluegrass had to correct him. And I have not forgotten that for shit, like maybe the last 38 years. Okay. And it's been 35 years since we've seen any material of Silverhawks. There were 7 comic books that came out, a miniseries that was while they were doing the show, the simple 4 color issue series. Okay. So this, I mean, you could probably find them on eBay if you want to. Okay. So it has been 35 years since anything. Masters of the Universe had comic books, and Thundercats have comics. They have new comics for Thundercats on Dynamite, right? There's been new comic books for GI Joe. There's been new. I mean, if you look at comic book dot beer in threads, you will find whatever happened to Mark Bustler, classic game room Lord Carnage. He's hiding on there. He's posting up new videos, but he's not on YouTube anymore. He's not even on Instagram traditional or TikTok. He's just kind of gone. And here we got, this is the cover I got. This is the traditional Lady Hawk, I guess. I was just going to pick up this one. I picked up whatever was the rarest of the issues. But so the story is that we go into 100 years after the events of the original cartoon. Monstar has been arrested, and the city is safe. So they've got Pinot Planet 10. So this is Bedlama City, Bedlama. The year is 28. This is the 29th century. Okay. So you got the future. This is the Pinot colony that's kind of looks like Deep Space Nine. No, not a whole lot of room for originality. So all we're looking at is character development. I'm not too surprised by the things I'm seeing. I would say that if you go by the art in the original Transformers comic book that was for Transformers Armada comic book, the art, the color, the separation, that technique was much better. But we're not meant to be amazed by the world. We're more meant to be amazed by character development. That's the real stuff. So here we got Thundercats Lost. I'm just going to briefly go over these pages and not worry about copyright claims and stuff. Here's Monstar. We got Stargazer. That's before Star Trek: The Next Generation. Stargazer was a guy, okay, not a starship, okay. So Stargazer was the chief of the Silverhawks. And here we have dialogue balloons and captions because now we know. So I got the Ashcan edition as a collector's item. And here we got, so try to think of it as cyberpunk, the world of cyberpunk, the world of Coruscant, right? You got police officers, but now something has happened that will bring about the Silverhawks intellectual property. Now, I will talk about this because it is owned by Warner Brothers, the Silverhawks copyright stuff. And here we got, oh, look at this. A Johnny Quest, Space Quest, Johnny Quest and Space Ghost crossover. Oh, that's going to be something. Issue number 1, okay. And then you got another. Should there be a Johnny Quest live action movie? You let me know in the comments. So here's Monstar. This guy, Molecular, has freed him. I don't know much about Molecular. I know there are different guys. There's a Buzzsaw guy. I don't know much about these guys. And so this, yeah, like I'm saying, this is the first story in 35 years. No, there have been no cartoons, no video games, no web series, no children's book, no audio adventures, nothing. After the 7-issue series in the 80s, after the last episode, that was it of Silverhawks. This is the first time in decades we are looking at it. Just like with Tron comic book, we got the first Tron comic book. So this is a big fucking deal. And now here comes the spoiler. If you don't tune out now, the original Silverhawks are still alive, but they're way old. Kit is an adult, is an aging old adult. So I don't know. I guess they age maybe, I don't know, maybe like 1 year for every 2 years. I don't know. Maybe that's possible. I don't know. Because it's been 150 years for them. So for every year, maybe they don't age for every year. They age every 2 years or 3 years. So that'll explain instead of being extremely old, or maybe they age every 5 years. Okay, so um, they're like 30 years older. Maybe they age every 5 years. That's possible. So they're like 30 years old plus. So 30 years they're senior instead of being really horribly old and beyond recognition. So this is the real crew that we have seen before from the 80s. But now something terrible has happened. There was a terrorist attack. So these police officers usually go on patrol. They stop purse snatchers and drunk drivers, and they're kind of like a SWAT team of any kind of counterfeit money, counterfeit organizations. They're the police officers you would see in Cyberpunk. But now that one guy has been horribly injured and he is transformed into the new Quicksilver, I guess, this new guy. So he's the new guy. So there's a new generation of people. And there's the next issue. Now, I will show you. Let me show you. Look at this shit. Look at this. Now, this is why I have stopped collecting comic books. Look at this shit. Now, Eric July, rest in peace, is IP of ISOM. I think he's done. Eric July pointed out the 26 issues of Superman. Okay? Of Superman 1, a new Superman series that was 26 issues for 26 variants for one issue. Do you know how many variants are in Silverhawks? There are 69, exactly 69 covers. Some of them look exactly the same. Some of them have foil virgin art. Virgin means there's no title for it. So these are like virgin without the stuff on it. Okay. So here we got all these covers. Silver, cover 20. No, cover ZO, fog bonus. So you got A through Z, then ZA through ZZ, right? So you got foil covers, bonus foil, gold foil, incentive gold foil. So this is a gold foil cover, the Silverhawks one, but it has no title. It's a virgin cover. Oh my God. Okay, all the way to ZZ, ZZA, ZZB, right? Goes all the way to ZZD. Then you got retailer exclusives. Now, I don't know if that's from like Golden Apple or whatever. I don't know what it is. I think because Golden Apple has their own covers too. Look at this shit. Look at this. Okay? Dynamite Comics. Dynamite, I would say, is a really good contender, depending on what they put out. But there's a lot of ads. So that is Silverhawks. So can we get a nicer shot of you? Maybe not. Well, we'll try the best we can because we are in landscape mode and not portrait mode. I do the best I fucking can. So let me say this. So that's a lot of covers. 69 covers for one issue. This is an event. Maybe that's why. They think 69 is pretty cool. Okay. So I guess that's why I got this cover of all the covers. So Ed Brisson's got a lot on his hands. Now, if this really takes off, would Warner Brothers try to take back the IP to make it exclusive for DC Comics? Now, if that happens, I think in foresight, I would stop collecting these issues. I would stop collecting them we'll have to see how Ed Brisson does. But so far, we don't have a whole lot to go on here. But Ed Brisson doing this, I mean, it's got to work, right? So I want to see how they're going to play this out. Once they start setting up the team, okay, guys, this is an origin story now for the new team. So it's world building, right? So this is a sort of a soft reboot, but it's still in the same timeline. So now we're going to see how this all plays out. We're going to see how the Silverhawks play out. And so, yeah, Stargazer was almost out of retirement, but that Monstar lived 100 something years and broke out of prison by molecular. But why did it take this long? I don't know. But here we are, 150 years later. This could be good. This could be bad. We have to see how it is. All we're doing now is watching the setup and seeing how the payoff is not there. And we're going to have to see next month. That's how it is. Um, the days of really chasing down these comics, I'll tell you what. So I'm worried that if it does prove too successful, this could go back to DC Comics. You may say, oh, yeah, Justice League and Silverhawks. That'll be cool. I was like, maybe, but maybe it'll be junk. So now it is time to give my score for this. Okay, honestly, this is where I'm at, between 3.5 and 4. All we're seeing is a setup. I'm not super excited on this yet. I'm not saying it's not bad. It's very good. But we're just kind of looking at the beginnings. So that's it for Silverhawks #1. This, most people had preview issues. I did not. I did not have any kind of privilege whatsoever. And we're going to just see how the rest of it plays out. Silverhawks.